Cabinet secretaries have come under fire for actively participating in politics and, in some instances, even going ahead to make pronouncements on their political inclinations. Dockets such as the Interior Ministry and the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology have been deemed critical in the coming elections, with the Kenya Kwanza Alliance calling on the respective CSs to resign on grounds of bias. NTV's Melito Letenge spoke to legal experts on the role of cabinet secretaries in politics, if any, and the consequences.
The thin line between politics and policy and leadership has been amplified as the country warms up for a heated political season. Some cabinet secretaries are deemed to have already taken political sides. The appointment of 3 cabinet secretaries to the Azimio la Umoja presidential campaigns not going down well with a section of politicians. Cabinet Secretary for Defense Eugene Wamalwa will lead campaigns in the Western region. Agriculture CS Peter Munya will be on the political offensive in Mount Kenya, while Treasury CS Ukur Yatani has been mandated to rally support in northern frontier counties.
Article 73 and 75 of the Constitution, which are in Chapter 6, talk about the need for state officers to avoid conflict of interest. And then Article 232, that talks about the public service, adds the issue of impartiality.
At a meeting with the Azimio presidential aspirant Raila Odinga in Nyeri, Cabinet Secretary for Information and Communications Technology Joe Musheru publicly declared his support for Raila Odinga.
So I have no hesitation in supporting His Excellency Raila Odinga and the candidature.
Tumekubaliana sisi wote na mzee wetu Prime Minister Raila Odinga ndiye anatuongoza. Na tumekubaliana safari hii sisi watu wa Nyanza tutasimama pamoja kama mtu mmoja. Sasa nikisema hivyo nimefanya makosa.
The ministries they head are, however, critical in the coming elections.
They would have a valid point, Kenyans, in believing that matters security or matters ICT can be compromised.
According to the Leadership and Integrity Act on Political Neutrality, an appointed state officer other than a cabinet secretary or a member of a county executive committee shall not, in the performance of their duties, act as an agent for or further the interests of a political party or candidate in an election, or manifest support for or opposition to any political party or candidate in an election. An appointed state officer or public officer shall not engage in any political activity that may compromise or be seen to compromise the political neutrality of the office subject to any laws relating to elections. Without prejudice to the generality of subsection 2, a public officer shall not engage in the activities of any political party or candidate or act as an agent of a political party or a candidate in an election.
Inakubalia mawaziri kufanya hiyo. Kwa hivyo Bwana Matiang'i na Bwana Joe Mucheru msibabaishwe na mtu yeyote. Mimi hata wajaribu kunibabaisha kwa sababu anajua mimi nitaendelea tu.
Cabinet secretaries have taken one provision of the Leadership and Integrity Act to claim that it allows them to engage in party politics. But even that one provision says that they can only do so if it will not create an impression of compromising their neutrality.
Before the promulgation of the current constitution, cabinet secretaries were required to be members of parliament first, and that gave them the liberty to engage in active politics occasionally. But that has now changed. The question of who shall hold the cabinet secretaries accountable tends to resurface, but legal minds warn that taking sides is admissible in court in the event of a petition to challenge election results.
Then you can use that as an argument in an election petition to nullify elections. Will that one argument be sufficient to nullify election? It could be not, because the courts use a twofold approach in assessing whether an election is free and fair. there's a quantitative test and a qualitative test.
Legal experts argue that cabinet secretaries supporting any political outfit are throwing caution to the wind, as this could result in a ricochet effect, especially in the event of disputed election results. They say elections is not only about the results, but also about the process. Melita Oletenges, NTV, Nairobi.